Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
Yes.
If you just tuned in a few moments ago, we did start, but then some gremlins got in the system, but Jim has bazookaed them.
Yep, we completely stopped existing.
Yeah, exactly.
We found a way out of the void.
But we are back. Welcome to FORZA RAMBLE. Welcome again, if this isn't your first time today of seeing us. It's your afternoon delight, everybody. We're going to press on. I'm here. Jim Campbell's here.
Hello. We were talking about Juventus against Barcelona, weren't we? Should we just dive straight back in?
I think so. It was a wonderful win for Juventus. The way they celebrated at the end, Jim.
Yeah.
Barcelona look at that and think, we've got form for this season.
Yeah.
We're going to do you at the new camp.
Yeah, we're going to really irresponsibly try and do that again. But credit to Juventus. I mean, if you take away the context of... it seems to be all anyone's talking about, isn't it? Is can Barcelona make that comeback again? Because they've already done it once. But if you remove that, what a performance from Juventus.
Juventus were quite simply magnificent. Our first comment of the day, Robbie says, FORZA RAMBLE. You're damn right, Robbie. Yep. You're in the right place, mate. You're in good company. Get your comments in. We want nonsense. We want football. We want rumours.
Rumours. Yeah, make up some rumours.
Yeah,
about us if you want.
Well, whatever takes your fancy. Quite. Imagine Dybala, nicknamed the Jewel, and his first name's Paolo.
Paul Jewel. Whoa.
Paul Jewel.
Paul the Jewel.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Jeff Fraser says, force. Oh, that's an old trope, of course. Daniel Ferry says, what you bench, Marcus? It's actually a chair, not a bench, brother. You'll never find me warming benches anywhere in this country.
Anymore.
Afternoon, chaps. Pards to be the next Barca boss, says Paul Doyle.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah.
You know better than that.
Paolo Doyle.
Paolo the Jewel Doyle.
Let's go back to what we presume is a better Paul, because Mr. Doyle might be quite prodigious in his own way. But Paulo Dybala, Jim.
Yeah.
People saying he's the new Messi, and he says, I'm not the new Messi, I'm me.
Yeah, it's annoying that, isn't it? Because until Messi came along, everyone was the new Maradona. And there were so many players that were hampered by that. Like Javier Saviola was always called that, and that kind of was a real weight around his neck. So that's a bit annoying and a bit stupid. But Dybala, he's his own player. I can see why there is a comparison, though, the way he sort of cuts inside and got that sort of low centre of gravity as well. A couple of great goals. I don't know whether he plays with his socks rolled down or he has particularly small socks, but he seems to be one of those players where you notice him because of the tiny little socks he's got on. You notice him because of the tiny little socks he's got on, not because of the two fantastic goals he scored against Barcelona. Well, I mean, you notice him when he's scoring the goals. I mean, you're right, it's probably the goals, actually. Beth Cole is disappointed that Bristol Rovers didn't get a mention on yesterday's show. The fastest goal in the top 4 leagues this season, 11 seconds. There's your mention, Beth. No more complaining, if that was a complaint, or it was just a helpful mention. We appreciate it none the less. A lot of people are asking about Tony Adams at Granada. Yeah, that's a funny one, isn't it? Why has this happened? You love Tony Adams. I do love Tony Adams. Are you not pleased for him, Jim? I'm pleased for him. Right. Well, I sort of am. I wonder, is it going to work out? It'd be great if he sort of, defies expectation and goes in and turns it around. Stop being serious about this. This is ridiculous, Jim. We want to have some fun. All right, but I don't want to see Tony get hurt. Emotionally or physically? Well, both. Yeah. He's been off doing his badges. Maybe it'll be all right. In fact, it's going to be brilliant, and you're an idiot for doubting it. If you want to hurt someone, Jim, do you go for a physical or an emotional blow? What makes you think I sort of spend my days like setting out to hurt people, physically or emotionally? What have you heard? Sydney is asking who's winning. What are you talking about? You'll find out in a minute. Sydney is asking who's winning, Bayern or Real Madrid tonight? Football. Yeah, football's winning. Football's going to win. Bayern or Real Madrid? Where is it? Is that at Bayern? I forget where the first leg is. But Ancelotti, he'll be out for. Is it revenge? Ancelotti's not a vengeful man. No, he's not a vengeful man. He's not like me. Sydney Morris, another comment saying Marcus loves Tories. Marcus loves Tories. That's strange. What is he talking about? Absolute idiot. I voted Labour in the last general election, so the joke's on you. Our very own football rambler said, "Has Marcus got a bead on?" I'm not sweating yet. Yeah. This is a very warm studio, and Jim, confirm there is no bead. And Jim's sex appeal does make the average man sweat, even if you are heterosexual. I think, though, with the temperature in the studio, the bead is inevitable and forthcoming. Yeah, look out for that. It's going to be quite. It's going to be quite the bead soon enough. Now, Scott is asking, assuming Wenger leaves in the summer, who will Arsenal bring in? I mean, we do have a lot of this kind of chat, don't we, Jim? Alan Pardew.
Let's get Pardew in. I want to go back to Barcelona for a bit because Neymar is banned for an extra 2 games because he sarcastically applauded the referee when he was sent off against Malaga, and he's going to miss the Clásico.
Yeah, that's really silly.
Does he regret that clap?
Of course he does. Yeah, it's part of the rules in Spain, isn't it? You can't be a dick. Basically, it's sort of their version of ungentlemanly conduct.
It's very true.
Conduct, I suppose.
Well, it was because it was an infringement of Article 117. Oof. We hear a lot about Article 50 these days, but not so much about Article 117. Yeah, in the Spanish football's governing body disciplinary code, Article 117 addresses attitudes of contempt or disregard for referees, managers or authorities.
There's been a bit of this as well. There was a player in China, wasn't there, who gave Pato the thumbs up when he missed a penalty, and he got in trouble for that.
That's probably because it's bordering on a totalitarian state.
Well, very much so. But it's in the world of football, we're seeing this happen.
A man got 6 months
from the real world.
A man got 6 months ban for stamping on Axel Witsel.
6 months ban. Yeah, because the idea of that is that the government don't like being embarrassed, do they?
No.
So then they react to embarrassment by doing even more embarrassing things
and
paint them in a terrible light.
And famously, Axel Witsel is the Chinese government's favourite player.
Really? That's interesting.
That's why.
Don't stamp on him.
Don't stamp
on the crown jewels.
Oh, Sydney Morris has apologised. Marcus, I meant Tony's. I love Tony's. All of them?
Tony Christmas?
Yeah, I like Anthony.
Tony Adams? You've just been slagging him.
Tony Blair. I mean, even though I said I voted Labour, but when we look back on it, do we love to? We're getting into political territory, and that is often.
You are.
Pete Donaldson. Hello, Peter. First time listener or first time viewer. Marcus, do you prefer Jeremy Corbyn or Jim as a celebrity gooner? That's an interesting question.
Yeah. Who do you prefer?
Well, you're both backbenchers.
Yeah. I mean, Jeremy Corbyn is the leader of the Labour Party. He's emphatically not a backbencher.
You can take the man off the backbench, but can you take the backbench off the man, Jim?
I guess we'll see.
I think I definitely prefer Jim. Chris Stockley says, do you think Tranmere's 9-0 win over Sully Hall was suspicious? Especially with Lincoln's goal difference being so high at the time. Well, Chris, I don't think we're going to comment on that. We'll let you do the talking.
Yeah, we'll let you have your own opinion on that.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Sean has said, will Leicester make the semi-final of the Champions League? This is the big one, Jim. They're away to Atletico this evening. Diego Simeone said he's a fan of Jamie Vardy. Yeah. Said he's dangerous. But Leicester looking for revenge, of course, because 20 years ago they went to Atletico Madrid and they were knocked out.
A lot's been made of that, because apparently there was a contentious refereeing decision, wasn't there?
It's not revenge.
They're not thinking about that at all.
When I heard that, I was a bit like, well, Leicester, they won the League Cup, didn't they? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I don't think that's at the forefront of things.
That's not what's going on, is it? It's not. They're not going to be sort of chest beating about revenge if they get through this tie. That'd be ridiculous. But how do you think they're going to get on? Because this is a nightmarish team for them to have to play. Because Atletico is such a canny side.
Indeed.
And they are. I mean, they'll probably potentially be happy to sort of let Leicester have the ball if they want, because they're so comfortable in pretty much every mode of play. So I wonder. I mean, how Leicester approach this.
Do you think that? Do you agree with Craig Shakespeare that his conscience is clean over Claudio Ranieri, Jim?
Well, I don't know what's going on backstage.
Yeah, but you can speculate, Jim. That's what we're here to do.
Okay. Well, no, I think he's probably knifed him.
Now you're talking, Jim. That's the spirit, pal. Speaking of knifing, of course, the Football Ramble, we're going to be doing a live show on the 27th of May at Hackney Empire. If you've got any questions about that, do get them in.
I've got a question.
Go on then.
The knifing. What?
You'll see. 27th of May at Hackney. The FA Cup final is the same day. Don't worry. The show will be after that, comfortably after. Yeah. Even if it goes to sudden death penalties and the penalty shootout goes on to, 50-49, something like that.
That won't happen.
It could. The show will start comfortably after that, so don't you worry about that.
So I think you can get tickets for that on the Hackney Empire's website.
Yes, indeed. But if you have any questions about the live show, as serious or ridiculous as you may, then do ask them right now. We can answer you straight away. What about this? Arna says Jim giving Marcus a solid run for the best ramble hair.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, evidence is on my head, isn't it? Don't need to say much more than that.
Do you use a particular shampoo, Jim? Or
what am I using
sort of wake up and think I'm going to look like that all day?
Pantene at the moment, endorsed by Ellie Goulding, because that is apparently how I like my head to be clean.
Yeah, true. Alex Clark has said, will a Keegan be seen? I assume that's at the live show. He's certainly been mentioned a lot in previous live shows. If he's going to turn up, then I would certainly love it.
Although maybe hire him, he won't have anything on.
I hope he'd turn up after, because the theatre might sort of implode or something like that. Jay said, I came to the last show at Hackney. It was brilliant, lads. Thank you, Jay.
Cheers, Jay.
Jay's the
Good
type
of you
of
to
man
say.
you can hang your hat on, Jay. You really can. He's a top man. Dave has said Sean Wright-Phillips to take over from Wenger. I mean, it's nice to get a mention for Sean Wright-Phillips because we were talking about him earlier in the show, of course. Tom Crow has said, "Eat my wife." I will not. Tom, that's a ridiculous suggestion. Maybe he's an actual crow, and maybe crows get up to these sorts of things. Jim, do you have any comment on that?
Sorry, crows eat their wives?
We're going to move on to Nathaniel Klein's birthday party. Did you see that, Jim?
I saw pictures of it, yeah. Wasn't Daniel Sturridge wearing like a sort of gold grill in his...
He did have a gold grill on his teeth. It was...
Good to see he's keeping busy, isn't it?
It was... It was absolutely incredible. Like, the party, if you haven't seen Nathaniel Klein's birthday, do check it out. It looks like the type of party for slightly older viewers. The sort of thing that Axl Rose or Freddie Mercury would have thrown. It seemed absolutely
I don't know.
outrageous.
Probably quite a bit less heroin at the Liverpool party.
I wasn't mentioning drugs, Jim.
Well, I mean, if you're going to talk about an Axl Rose party, they're not going to be far away, are they? Let's be honest.
I don't think he was...
I don't think that's really slander either.
Yeah, true. I don't think it was that particular drug. But let's get off the drug chat, Jim.
All right.
You always want to drag it there.
Yeah. Fine, don't let me be me.
Yeah, okay. What did you think of Nathaniel Klein's teammate, Giorgio Wijnaldum, dressing up as an old man?
This is great. Yeah, he wore a weird sort of like Halloween-y old man costume and just went round Liverpool city centre just nutmegging strangers. And I am all for that. Again, footballers have a lot of free time, and this. Football and TV and news and all that sort of stuff is 24 hours now. We need content. Fill it with content.
Yeah, very
Fill it
much
with
so.
players dressed as old men doing nutmegs on the public for no reason.
Yeah,
I am all about that.
Very true, yeah. Pete has said, Marcus, is there any truth in rumours that Jim will be handing out cupcakes at the live show? Jim?
I don't know yet. That's not to say that there is or isn't. It remains a possibility.
Scott has said, whatever happened to Gary Doherty, Norwich City legend? Probably not the forum for that, Scott, but we do appreciate your comment. Very much so. Brad Nash has said, strange, I've always imagined Nathaniel Klein as the sensible older brother to Sturridge. Well, we don't know exactly what went on, but I mean, Sturridge is in charge of his own teeth, so he presumably puts what he pleases on there.
Yeah, I mean, show me a man who's not in charge of his own teeth, and I'll be very surprised.
James has, he's saying Genie has the whitest teeth in the Prem. Maybe he's talking about Ronaldo. I mean, did you remember the Cristiano Ronaldo video where he dressed up as he put a beard on, fat suit, and was playing in a plaza in Madrid somewhere, and he was basically challenging people, get the ball off me, and of course nobody could get it off him.
But Ronaldo's reveal was like, hey, there. Where Ronaldo's was, it is I, Ronaldo, your hero and king.
I find it quite strange, that kind of thing, because you're sort of hoodwinking the public, and it's like, it's me, and if anybody does that, it's sort of slightly freaky. There was one where Chris Kamara was doing a video for whichever company he was doing it for, and he was dressed up as an old man, like fully, walking stick, the lot, because I think Ronaldo, it was just a head, it was just a mask. And he was on the tube, and he was asking people to sit down, and if someone offered them his seat, then he would say, thanks very much, and he'd say, well, you've offered me my seat, here's my seat at the European Championships, and here's some tickets. But the funny thing was, he would reveal who he was, and he'd go, I'm not an old man, it's me, Cammy. And of course, most people didn't know who he was.
Okay.
And they were like, an old man is not, it's a younger guy, and
I've got me tickets for something, Mummy, I don't like this man.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the thing the tickets are for from this man.
It's very strange. Nick Gall has said, hi, Harry. That's Jim, Nick. Let's move on. USA, Canada, Mexico are reportedly going to bid for the 2026 World Cup, Jim.
Yeah.
This has really caught your imagination, Jim.
Well, that's a big old journey, isn't it? That's a lot of space. I wonder how that's going to work. Obviously, there's a bit of tension between Mexico and Canada.
But you could say USA and everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, it's a strange one. I wonder if a lot of people in Mexico are happy about that.
Yeah.
It's a very underrated league, Mexico. It's very, very well attended, isn't it?
It is.
They're very passionate about it.
They are. So you think it will be good?
Do I think a World Cup will be good? Broadly, yes, I think a World Cup
Where'd you
will
like
be
the final to be?
The Rose Bowl.
Would you?
Just because that's like a sort of really happy place.
The viewers and I,
USA '94.
The viewers and I know you're wrong because it should be in Mexico City.
Yeah, of course it should. The whole thing should be in Mexico. Every other World Cup should be in Mexico, and every one of our generation knows that.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Jonathan has said, did the change of formation win Juventus the game, or is it merely Barcelona incapable of winning away games?
It was
They are a bit rubbish at the moment in away games in the Champions League, basically focusing on PSG. But when they're so good at home, it doesn't matter, does it?
Well, it does, doesn't it, though? At some point it's going to matter, and I think this might be it.
True enough, true enough. What else have we got here, Jim? Yes. Well, I tell you what, actually, I'd like to get your thoughts, Jim. You went to the Bernabeu recently. You've been to the new camp.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to compare these two things. It's a bit like when you go to Madrid. People say, "Oh, do you prefer Barcelona?" Don't need to compare. If you say, "Oh, are you into football?" No, I prefer rugby. Don't need to compare.
Yeah.
Right. But we are going to compare.
Okay.
Do you prefer the new camp or the Bernabeu?
Well, the new camp experience for me was a bit strange because I was firstly ill.
Yeah.
And it was a long time ago, and we were we were on actually the back row at one point, weren't we? Because we went up there to see what that was like. So we had much better seats at the Bernabeu. So I mean, taking that into account, I think I actually did prefer the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
It's like a cathedral, isn't it? It's incredible. It's just really, really full on and grandiose, and I sort of like that kind of weird pompous feel that the game has to it. Do you remember the music they played before the game? It was like this really saccharine, like Titanic style thing with everyone getting really emotional, and it's weird, but I like it despite its weirdness.
Andy Follows said, "Would England be worse playing in the warm climate of Mexico City or in the chilly regions of Alaska?" And then ends by saying, "Polar bear football." I mean, the last comment, Andy, is a little bit strange, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, we can probably ignore that.
But you could have a game in Alaska, you could have a game in Hawaii.
Yeah,
if America hosted the World Cup.
That'd be great.
It would be utterly inconvenient, and I'm sure they don't have the stadia to back it up. But
it makes as much sense as Qatar.
I was about to say, oh dearie me. Surely this is Zach. Surely the media should back off Dele Alli. Wouldn't want another overhyped English starlet to crash and burn.
That's an interesting point, yeah, but I think it's that cat's out of the bag now, isn't it? Because he's having such a good season. I mean, if he was a senior player, if he was 28, people would be raving about him because he's having such a good season. So I think when he's doing that well, it's a little bit inevitable.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to start seeing him do it for England and then move
abroad.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got? Oliver says, "What's in the cup, Marcus?" That's not a cup; it's a glass, Oliver.
Yeah. So, mugged yourself off there, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. It's just water, brother. It's just water. Nothing to worry about. Sean has said, "Will Man United win the Europa League?"
I have a sneaking suspicion they will, actually.
Joss has said, "Is Romelu Lukaku still growing?"
Well, he's 23, isn't he? He's played a lot of football.
In knowledge, yes. Physically, probably not. Because he's into his 20s now. You stop growing at probably in your late teens at most. Would you say, Jim, being the scientist and the doctor that you are?
No, I simply don't know.
Georgia says, "Water champions." That's Jim and I.
Damn right.
Jim's won, he's finished.
It's actually Dettol.
Keith has said it's not a mug, Jim. You're a mug, Keith, if anyone is. What about, let's go to Arsenal, Jim, the subject that is very dear to your heart and you feel very passionately about and you love throwing out your opinions like you do, and you're desperate for Arsenal Fan TV to knock on your door.
Yeah.
Mr. Usmanov, Arsenal's second biggest shareholder, says Wenger should help decide his successor.
Yeah, well,
it works so well at Manchester United.
Yeah, quite. I wonder about this. There's talk of Marc Overmars coming in, isn't there, as director of football?
Yes.
So I wonder if they're trying to ease the burden on Wenger and sort of help the transition that way by getting a team in to identify the next man. But I really. Doesn't bother me either way, really. If Wenger has a say in his successor or the board do or not, it's just the point is making that right appointment when it comes. So I think it's all of much ado about nothing.
Yeah. Did you see Hector Bellerin? He was given a lot of abuse.
They wouldn't give the ball back to him, would they? Crystal Palace and chanted, "You're not fit to wear the shirt," and him and others.
Do you agree with that?
No. He's a very good player on his day. He's in very bad form, like the rest of the team are. But I mean, this is the worst they've ever been under Wenger. So you can't be surprised that fans that pay that much money are frustrated. Yeah.
Bellerin posted on Instagram a photo of him running by the beach the next morning, and I thought, where the hell does he live?
Yeah. Photoshopped, maybe?
No, it was a proper one.
Well, he's quite fast. Maybe ran to Spain.
Ran down to Bournemouth. Damien said, Damien, to be honest with you, this is the kind of trite comment that I should really not read out and be a bit more mature, but I'm not. Gary Megson to Arsenal.
Yay.
There we go, Jim. Any
No.
No, very much so. Jim, we're coming slightly towards the end of our time. Jim, do you have any comments about anything?
Do you have any comments about anything? One thing I'd like to talk about is Neil Warnock. Did you see this?
No.
Neil Warnock has said that his Cardiff City defenders are 10 times better than Arsenal's, and he wouldn't swap them. Yeah. Sticking the boot in, Neil. Just no need for that, is there? Where's that come from?
that is a load of nonsense. Hector Bellerin looks exactly like Adam Driver.
I agree. He's getting more and more like Adam Driver's character in Star Wars.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, yes. I always call him Rilo Ken, which is wrong. And that's why I didn't.
Do you know something? I am going to read this one out. Drew has said, Brendan Rodgers for Arsenal.
Oh, dear.
To be honest with you, it's
Shut
not.
up.
No, that's not the most ridiculous shout.
It's not the most ridiculous shout. But
Brendan
it's not,
Rodgers
it's not
to
a
Arsenal.
realistic one.
He's won the league. He's got a league win
won
under his
A-League.
belt. He's won A League. Likes to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Arsenal. I honestly think, Drew, I like that. I don't think
I'm sure
is,
you like it.
I don't think
Imagine
that's.
the mileage you would get out of that.
I don't think that's ridiculous.
I think it is. I think Arsenal will be aiming a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poisonally.
Okay. Well, you're only good as your last league campaign, and he won the league in April.
The more you're smug about it, it's not going to make any difference to whether it happens or not. So, grin away,
I
Stella.
think the appointment of Brendan Rodgers at Arsenal would be okay. There we are.
There it is.
Sam says, Marcus, who do you actually support? Sam, I've mentioned this recently on the podcast. Yeah. You're going to have to go back in there and find out.
Do your homework, Sam.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Brendan Rodgers to stay at Celtic and hands off, Drew said, hands off Dembele and all that. Don't worry, Drew, he's going to be fine up there. Chris has said Simeone to Arsenal, surely.
Well, if I could have anyone, it would be Simeone.
Really? Not Allegri?
Well, I think Simeone would change the style, but that happens, doesn't it? Arsenal used to be known as boring Arsenal, and this style of play isn't going to be synonymous with them forever, or supposed style of play. But I don't know if we could get Simeone. What I like about Simeone is he's won things in a league where the two teams above them. I don't know if enough is made of this, but Madrid and Barca have like 8-9 times the budget of Atletico, and they've won the league in that time. So it's a similar situation, really, with Chelsea and City. So the gap isn't as big, which is great. So I would bite my own arm off to get Simeone.
Yeah, we've only got a few minutes left. We're only going to take questions about the live show on the 27th of May. Get your questions in. Like I said, ask us anything. Jim, what are you looking forward to the live show the most?
Peter. Frankly, because you never know what he's going to do. He sort of disappears, doesn't he? He's like the Phantom of the Opera. In any theatre we go to, he's just off somewhere doing some weird thing, and it always entertains me.
The Phantom of the Hackney Empire.
Yeah, the Phantom of the Empire, I suppose. That sounds like a sort of mashed up Star Wars movie, doesn't it?
That's a spin-off, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The live shows are great. Any questions about the Graham Taylor to Arsenal, Joel, is inappropriate and not a question about the live show.
We don't endorse that.
Okay, Andy has said, is Doc Brown comparing again? Doc Brown, we don't know.
Who knows?
We don't know. We'll try and get...
we don't actually know Doc Brown.
Rob
he just turns up to our shows and does some stand-up sometimes.
Joshua says, can you get Tony Pulis on the live show? We'll see if anybody is misbehaving, then he'll give him a good headbutt.
Good old naked headbutt.
Rob has said, when are you going to do a live show in Ireland again? We don't know, Rob.
We don't know, but we love it.
Come over to London. There's plenty of hotels. We will cater for you.
No, we're not going to put any of you up.
When I say we, I mean London.
Okay.
Damon has said, will there be dry ice?
We've never done dry ice. Maybe we could get some dry ice in.
Yeah, you can do a John Bon Jovi over the crowd.
We could do a sort of stars in your eyes thing.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
No, I meant like you hoisted up like in Living on a Prayer.
Yeah, that was a separate thing to my other fantasy that will frankly never happen.
There goes Jim. Whee! You'd be quite comfortable.
There goes Jim.
Have you ever been hoisted by anything, Jim?
Just my own petard. On many occasions.
You've never been sort of lifted in any kind of...
Oh, I have actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trampolining doesn't count.
No, it was when I was in that brilliant Skoda advert. I was hoisted up in that to do a fake hang gliding thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, didn't actually hang glide,
but you were hoisted.
I was hoisted.
Did you enjoy it?
No, because it's let's say it chafes when you're hoisted for a long time.
Tight on the todger.
Yeah.
Tight on the old Brendan Roger.
Tight on the old penis.
Oh dear. Anything else? There's a few people asking about live shows in Australia. I mean, if we're not doing one in Ireland, we're not going to do one in Australia at the moment. But who knows what the future could hold, for crying out loud. Anything is possible. Leicester won the league. Donald Trump is the President of the United States. Anything is possible.
Spurs are good.
Exactly, yeah.
What a nightmare.
Indeed, yeah. Right. The requests are coming in. Brian said a live show in New York, surely. I mean, that would be great. Brian, let's be honest. Who knows? But the live show is on the 27th of May at Hackney Empire. Get your tickets. They will go quickly. I think they're already going quickly. Jim's bought about 200 because he's got that many friends who like... Shorter says, come to Australia, you melt. Sure, you've had a lot of comments today and we've appreciated it, very much so. Yeah. A lot of people saying, come to Australia. A lot of people What's the time zone like in Australia? What time is it in Australia? Can somebody... What, are you 12 hours ahead?
I don't know.
Something like that?
Depends where. Are there different time zones in Australia? I'm not sure.
I'm just waiting in the comments. We're not going to finish the show and someone tells me what the local time is in, say, Sydney. What's the local time in Sydney? 11 p.m. Well done, Ro. Appreciate that. Well, it's peak viewing in Australia, clearly.
Yeah.
We've very much enjoyed.
Thanks for staying up.
James Pence says 1 a.m. in New Zealand. Okay, excellent. And Sean Pye, friend of the Ramble. You are not Sean, but your comments have been appreciated. Right, any more, Jim?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to be back the same time next week at 1:30. My goodness, crystals for the after party. Tom, it could well be the case. Thank you very much for your comments. It wouldn't be nearly as good without you. Lots of love. We'll see you next Wednesday. And of course,